Hey everyone! So today I'm going to show you a really easy science experiment using just Skittles and water. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is arrange these Skittles in a colored pattern around the edge of my plate. And you're going to want to use preferably a white plate and something that's like foam or like hard like this. Don't use a regular paper plate though. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this water in the middle of the plate and I'm gonna pour enough to cover all the Skittles and the plate itself. Okay, so you can see that the water isn't covering all of the Skittles all the way to the top, but just enough so you can see the colors start to just come right out. Check that out. Isn't that cool? This is happening real time right now. This isn't fast forwarded at all, and you can see the colors are starting to come right out of the Skittles and head right toward the middle. Isn't that beautiful? So I went and did like a rainbow pattern, but you can do whatever pattern you want to do. Just try to alternate the colors to have a really pretty effect. So you might be wondering why the colors spread. Well, the Skittles are coated in food coloring and sugar. So when you pour the water over the Skittles, the colored coating dissolves and spreads through the water. Once it dissolves, it then diffuses through the water, making it the color of the Skittle. Now, you may be wondering why the colors don't mix. Well, the reason why they don't mix and instead meet in the middle of the plate is because each food coloring has the same amount of sugar dissolved from each Skittle. So as the sugar dissolves, it pushes outwards into the rest of the solution, sending the water outwards as well. So I used warm water when I did this, and that will have an effect on how fast these colors will dissolve. Altogether, this took about 2 minutes for it to fully dissolve and meet in the middle. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour water on the edges and see what happens, opposed to pouring it straight in the middle. When you're pouring the water, try to be really careful and pour it slowly so it only is in the edges. You don't want it to get to the middle. And you can see I accidentally poured a little bit too much when it was starting to diffuse already, but that's okay because it still had to diffuse some more. This was interesting because instead of the colors all meeting in the middle of the plate like we did with the rainbow colors, this one spreads out to the edges and that's where it stops. Just as a side note, if you don't have Skittles, feel free to use some M&Ms. You could use a combination of M&Ms and Skittles like I'm about to do and you'll still get the same effect. Okay, so I went ahead and mixed together the Skittles and the M&Ms, and now we're gonna see how the temperature of the water will affect how quickly it dissolves. So we could already see that the colors and the candies that were in the warm water is starting to diffuse faster than the ones that are in the cold water. So why does that happen? Well, sugar dissolves faster in hot water than it does in cold water, because hot water has more energy than cold water. So when water is heated, the molecules gain energy, which makes them more faster. So as the molecules move faster, it comes in contact with the sugar more often, which causes it to dissolve faster. Now I used hot and cold tap water, but I'm sure that if you used water that was in the fridge or water that you heated up on the stove or in the microwave, you would see a much more dramatic change on how fast it dissolves or how slow. So I just poured out the water and I noticed that the M&Ms dissolved the outer coating, but inside we see the chocolate. And then on the Skittles, the outside dissolved again, but now it's just left with sugar. So these were the Skittles that were in the water 20 minutes ago. I poured out the water and you can see that the sugar was dissolving and now it's really just disappearing, versus this one from 40 minutes ago. Some of them are pretty much gone, if not almost gone. Give this easy experiment a try and get creative with the designs and shapes you make.